She had moved back to Fort Washington, and it gives you a real feel for some of the difficult times that ordinary people had to deal with during World War II. It's really, really fascinating. Nancy Rex said that she made copies of that beautiful letter that Jane left for the Rex family. So that would, they're up here too, Nancy?
I'm going to go get them on the cart.
Oh, okay. So those will be available for you. These are all pieces of our own personal family history. And we're quite a family. You know, it's really fascinating to look back over this and to see how we continue to reach out. I want to give a little tribute to Auntie Ree because I think she's been a wonderful mentor and inspiration for all of us. She was teaching again today. She will never stop being a teacher. And for me personally, she's been such a wonderful support for me, somebody that whenever I went to visit her, her first words would be, how's the family? And it was a genuine interest. I could always tell her the good, the bad, and the ugly. And she was right there with me, interested and supportive. She's taught me many things. She's inspired me to live my life every day. And hopefully we've got the same genes going. I love her dearly. Once my mother died, I think Auntie Ree became that maternal figure that I reached out to, and she was always there for me and all of my family. So thanks for hanging around so we could have this wonderful day to celebrate.
Thanks, Jen. Please, everybody, stick around and talk. That's the reason for all this. But I also want you to come up, take one of these, decide, you know, there's enough for families, so take what you want to and spread it out, because this is the legacy, and this is what my mom has passed down to all of you. And it's a treasure. Not everybody has a 100-year-old relative in the family. So treasure this, treasure your heritage. We're always looking to the future, but sometimes looking to the past is not a bad idea. Also, I have some, yeah, we're going to do straight. Also, I have some pink papers up here, so if you just want to write a quick little note to my mom on the way out, please do so. We're going to put it in her scrapbook along with all these pictures. We have a couple seconds, just if anybody has an anecdote about my mom. And I'm going to pass this to Barry because Barry always has some story. And then please, no, then Jim Krause. I'm just picking out people from the family who are full of stories.
Love it.
I have a quick one. Talking about her always being a teacher. One of the favorite things I ever did was, or one of the favorite things I remember is sending Christmas cards or thank you cards to Grandma as a kid, and several weeks later getting a return card marked up in red with my mistakes in my card saying it's I before E and little notes. So if she's ever a teacher, send her a Christmas card or birthday and you'll get it back with the proper grammar. So always a teacher.
Stories. I think Kay was correct that I'm full of, but not full of stories. When I think of Marie and I think of Ray, always as a couple, and when we used to go to Fort Washington, and Ray used to take me over to the lakefront, and we'd skip stones, and we had the best time doing that on the beaches of Fort Washington. And interesting enough that just the other day at Jane's funeral, I wore a cufflink shirt. And I was putting the cufflinks on, and I told Kathy, I said, you know, I'm pretty sure that these cufflinks I have were given to me by Marie when I was in high school. When we were a Christmas present, when we used to get together at Clam Reserve on Christmas Eve. And I'm 100% sure that those were, I had a tie clip which was gone, but the cufflinks I still have, and they're shiny and almost like brand new. So, and I hadn't thought about that for all these years until just the other day, so thanks for the cufflinks.
It's probably just a quick memory, but Marie dancing her leg off at my wedding and literally being the last one till I think 12 o'clock or midnight. And my mother-in-law just absolutely amazed by that and just couldn't believe that. But I actually have just thought of one other memory that my mother-in-law laughs at all the time because I always tell her stories about you. That I called Grandma one day, and this was probably maybe a couple of years ago, and she picks up the phone. She's like, "Can I call you back? I'm playing bridge." I said, "No problem."
And I was asked to be the junior prom queen by president of the junior class. Those were not the days when you had cars. I didn't know how to dance because my brother Vic was a great dancer, and he needed a partner. I was a ready person. But talking about the prom, Charles Larson, in case you know him. He's an attorney at Port Washington. I don't know if he's living or dead, but God bless him anyway. I don't know why he invited a sophomore girl to be prom queen, except that I could dance and he knew it. So he asked me to be prom queen. Well, what kind of dress does a sophomore wear to be prom queen? So my mother did.
Was it aqua, dotted Swiss?
No, it was white.
So it was aqua, dotted Swiss.
No, it wasn't that. It was
Tell her it
skippy.
wasn't. It was white, damn
And
it.
mother made it natural because that's what was done in those days. And so Charles and I walked down Harrison Street to the Opera House. That's what Port Washington called it. And we had a junior prom there with a promenade and everything else. And then we walked back. Now, Charles turned out to be a very good attorney, and I turned out to be a very good teacher. And we never shared another memory. But that's
The note for Annie Ree, and she corrected myself. Anyhow, it's been my privilege since the worst time in her life when her car was taken away and she couldn't drive anymore, I've been her wheels. And we've had many, many happy times going shopping for chocolate. We grocery shopped, but half of the basket was filled with something chocolate. And then we'd come back and put the groceries away and have lunch and have wonderful discussions on politics and relatives and the world situation, and just wonderful, wonderful times together. And I treasure those lunches so much. Yeah, well, now she's in assisted care, so she doesn't need to go grocery shopping anymore, but we still get together once in a while, but not for lunch. So it's been my privilege to have her as my aunt and my godmother all these years. I love you dearly. Thank you. From my siblings, so I have to add my 2 cents worth. It's maybe not a big thing, but to me it has been. My dad and Grandma Krause were very afraid of the water, but Marie obviously was not, because she was my teacher. First taught me how to float in the pool at Port Washington, and then just, of course, eventually to swim, which I probably would not have done, certainly not that early on. And then I, in turn, taught Nancy, who outswims me to this day. But I kind of passed it on, so that the ripple effect was there.